So it seems like mechanics everywhere are just quitting. In the United States, we have a massive shortage of auto mechanics. Why are we missing out on this industry? An industry where you once could make a really good, decent living. Is it because of rates? Is it because of new car designs? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it.
Why are mechanics leaving the industry?
There's a few different reasons. One, because they're getting old.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That makes sense.
A lot of really good mechanics are getting the age of retirement. The second reason is that this is an industry that taxes the body.
Hands, back, neck hurts.
Dealerships have
Some of the craziest things is that, a lot of mechanics are retiring. So not only that, where are the new mechanics? Where are the young mechanics? I can tell you right now, this younger generation can care less about automotive repairing. They can care less about that career path. They don't want to do plumbing. They don't want to do auto mechanic work, electrician work, nothing. So what is going to happen in about 5 to 10 years? Well, guess what? Those auto repair rates are going to shoot through the roof. Let's go ahead and just keep looking and see what they're saying.
a huge issue with their mechanics, and the Ford CEO says there's 6,000 empty bays, vehicles that need to get fixed, but there's not a mechanic to fix it. But it's a huge issue, not just to Ford, it's every dealership. It's crazy how dealerships work. You have high turnover throughout the whole dealership, but there's only one position there that's really a skilled position. You can't just hire some random mechanic. They gotta know what they're doing. But they get treated worse than anybody in the dealership. It makes no sense. I mean, a lot porter can get treated better. Like, what's going on? So dealerships charge crazy amounts per hour to the customer. I mean, it's crazy. But the mechanic will get $20, $30 an hour if they're lucky. And then they gotta fight to beat the clock. And if anything goes wrong, it's on them. They're gonna have to fix it out of their time because they're not just paid a salary or anything like that. It's flat rate. So whatever the job pays is what they get. But dealership owners will try to cut that down. Sometimes warranty work can pay better or worse. It just really depends. And there's a lot of warranty work right now. But the owner's gonna try to take as much of that as he can. And again, it's crazy how salespeople can make more than mechanics. And they will literally hire anybody as a salesperson. The service advisor, same sort of deal. And they're sitting behind a desk most of the time just trying to scam the customer for extra filters and this and that to get their little spiffs. And it's sad. A mechanic has to go get his parts and wait on that. The service advisor should be helping him out. He's getting a piece of the ticket. But the service advisor ends up making more than the mechanic. It makes no sense at all. And it's real bad how it is. Some of the mechanics are making it, but a lot of them are struggling at these dealerships. $10,000 to $25,000 in just tools just to get started, plus the schooling or wherever you get trained at. And a lot of times the manufacturer wants money from you to go through their individual training. Think about that. Just to go to work, you're 30, 40 grand in it, and you're talking about being a mechanic at a car dealership. Then you got some 18-year-old salesperson that can make more than you, and they get treated much better by the owner. It's insane how it works. So no wonder every single dealership, not just Ford, but especially Ford dealers, are struggling to keep these mechanics, and they don't have enough. They're not paying good enough, even though they're charging an arm and a leg to...
Man, let me tell y'all why being in the automotive industry ain't working to me no more. For one, man, if you're going to school, that's your old way. You don't need school to get into the automotive industry. I figured that out the hard way because I went, but now that I'm in, you don't need it. Number two, tools. Tools, man, that shit is just overly priced. Unless you're going to Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is the go-to spot, but anything outside of Harbor Freight, bro, I just feel like it's just overpriced. Number three, the pay. Now, you got two ways of getting paid when being in the automotive industry. Most of the time it's flat rate or hourly. Now, flat rate, you're getting paid on the car or the whatever the book price is on that car. So just say the car is quoted for 4 hours of work and you get it done in 8 hours, you get paid for 4. But hourly, we all know how hourly works, so I'm not gonna get too deep into that. Now, there are some where I offer salary plus commission. Now, I think that's the way to go, but it's just harder to find someone just like that. Number three, the work hours. I mean, being new to it, I mean, I feel like it's all right, but it's just overworked. You're just overworked, bro. You working six days out the week, sometimes 10 to 12 hours a day. So it's just not worth it for the pay, especially if you're new to it. So if you're trying to jump in the automotive industry, please take these things into consideration. that this shit is just not for the weak, and you just gotta be prepared within your first 3 or 4 years that this shit is gonna be tough. So just take a caution on before you jump into this. Just know this shit ain't gonna be easy.
Hey, what's up, America?
Whew, it is getting fucking tough. You got young people that just are quitting. You just heard it from a young person that wants to get into it, but he's finding out that the pay isn't exactly what he's wanting to sign up for. Just like we said, the old people are retiring and there's not enough new mechanics coming to this industry.
America, we need a shitload of auto mechanics here in the United States. Yeah, did you know that there's not enough mechanics here in America? Did you know that we need about 75,000 more mechanics a year to make up for the people that are retiring or leaving the workforce? Oh yes, it's worse than you thought. In the last couple of years, the price to fix your car has gone up 52%. Mechanics' pay has gone up about 30%, but with the fact that they generally have to buy their own tools and pay for automotive schooling, a lot of people are now saying that becoming a mechanic is simply not worth it. On top of that, the bullshit that car companies are doing where you have to purchase software with yearly subscriptions is starting to make people pissed off and leave the automotive industry. We have plenty of companies and we have plenty of tools, but we don't have plenty of men and women to do the fucking job because they don't want to go into the field because simply it costs too much and it's not effective at building a life. Now, after 10 or 20 years, it could be considered quite lucrative if you did it and had your own business. But there's simply a lot of mechanics that are retiring and they're taking that knowledge and muscle memory with them, something you can't just install in younger generations without that kind of master class education that they have. At this point, we need to get more people in the trade, specifically auto mechanics. We need to pay them better, and we need to have older mechanics that have the know-how teach these people what to do. Because we have a shortage of fucking auto mechanics, and we need help immediately.
I'm in a mood.
Woo! He explained it. 75,000 mechanics to replace this upcoming workforce that's retiring. I don't think that's possible. There is no way, there's no way in hell that we're about to garner up even half those numbers, man. So you can only imagine that car repairs, the costs are going to skyrocket. The tools are going to skyrocket because people aren't buying them anymore. And the yearly subscriptions, I'm guessing for more so of the electronic components, damn, they have to pay for all this. You would have thought that a mechanic at a dealership would have got supplied everything that person needs to get the job done, but man, that's not the case.
And I want to air out some dirty laundry. I've been a mechanic most of my working life. My career started at a few different shops, a boat shop and independent. I worked for Snap-on for 6 months, which is a whole other story. And then at one point, I got a job at a local dealership, and I spent 9 years there. I started at what was basically an apprenticeship and worked all the way to full certification. By the time I left, it was anything from brake jobs all the way up to diagnosis and repair of hybrid electric vehicles. Now, periodically, management would have one-on-one meetings with their technicians about productivity. Now, if you don't know how most mechanics get paid, the easiest way to think about it is commission. It's commission. You are paid by work completed, not how many hours you've worked. So let's say you get a water pump job. According to the book, that water pump job pays 3 hours. So you get paid 3 hours, whether that job takes you 3, 6, or 2 hours. Now, a pay period lasts about 2 weeks. You stack jobs on top of jobs. So let's say in a given pay period, you work 90 hours, but you produced 120. You get paid on the 120, not the 90. Ideally, this system would work great and it would be rewarding. The harder you work, the more money you make. It doesn't matter how long you're at the shop, the harder you work, the more hours you make, the more money you make, right? But anybody who's worked at the manufacturer level, at a dealership, knows that this is not the way it works out. There's a really big problem with modern manufacturers and how they pay for warranty. A lot of times, manufacturers pay a lower rate than what a normal customer would pay for, right? So, as an example, as a former FCA, Stellantis, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep Tech, whatever you want to call it these days, we sold, I think they still sell them. They were going to discontinue them, I know that for sure, but we sold a small diesel engine called the Eco Diesel. We put it in half-ton trucks and Grand Cherokees and Wranglers for some awful reason. What you need to know is the 3-liter Eco Diesel is a pile of junk. And I've read people say that they love them to death. I've been inside the things. They are garbage. Initially, when this engine hit the sales floor, there was a bugaboo. The 3-liter Eco Diesel is an Italian engine. And initially, when this thing was released, they were using an oil in that engine with a viscosity level that was way too low for it. And from the jump, these things were breaking crankshafts in half. So there was a recall. We basically just did an oil change, put a different viscosity oil in it, and put a different sticker on the oil cap. That was a whole recall, saved the engines, right? Now, at the time, a customer paid labor rate. So it's your car, you're paying for the repair. A customer repair labor rate to pull an EcoDiesel out of a half-ton truck and replace it was about 19 or 20 hours. The manufacturer labor rate, the warranty time, was 9 hours. 9 hours to get the truck rolled into the shop, the cab pulled off of it, the engine pulled out, put back in, the cab put back on top, and that thing running and driving out of the shop in 9 hours. Now, let's get back in the productivity meetings. You would have these one-on-ones with management, and they'd look at your hours that you were producing in a given pay period, and they'd say, well, you're not doing as many hours as we think you could do. We think you could do more hours. We don't understand why. Your hours are so low. We need you to bump up those hours. We need you to sell more services, sell induction services, sell brake fluid services. Do really good inspections, upsells. That's what you need to do, which is a whole other conversation we can have if you want to have that conversation. But basically, it was management telling you weren't working hard enough. And I had a manager that would say something consistently in these meetings that the one thing he loved to say was, I want to make you more money. This is going to make you more money. This is what can we do to make you and your family more money. We want to take care of your family. We want you to make more money. I want to do this for you. You know how I was talking about this is basically commission? The thing about knowing the customer pay labor rate, the hourly rate per job, and what I was making per hour is you can go back and do some really basic math. Now, if I took the customer labor rate, how much we charged you an hour, and how much I was making an hour, I could do some really basic math to figure out percentages. At our customer labor rate, my take as a technician was about 19%. I don't want to get too wishy-washy here, but I had legitimate financial interest into my job at that point. I had spent not as much as many other people, but over the course of my career, you could probably say somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 in tools. By that point, I had spent over a decade honing my craft, becoming a great technician, working very hard, doing great diagnoses. I was the one with the skill. I was the one doing the repairs. And the people sitting at the desks up front printing paper were making more than I was. Fully certified, almost a decade of experience with this dealer, and my take was just 19%. That boss that would tell me that they just want me to make more money, they want to take care of me, they want to take care of my family, there's a really easy way to do that.
Yeah.
I can work as hard as I want, and I'm never going to break that 19%. So what about the other 81%? The harder I work, the more money you make. And you're already making more money than I am, so don't give me this bullcrap about how you want to take better care of me. You want to make more money for you. From me. That line would always drive me insane. You want to take better care of me and my family? Bump me up from the 19% then. There are only so many hours in the day I can work as hard as I want, and I can produce a lot of hours, but you're still going to be richer than me. And you're going to be richer than me because of people like me that are doing the work for you.
It's insane, and I feel bad for this guy, man, because these rates aren't going up, right? He just asked for his labor rate percentage-wise to go up, but it's not happening. These people that are just printing out paper are just working. They're not working. They don't have the skill or the knowledge. I just recently got my car repaired, and I was asking certain questions, and the person that was handling my service was like, yeah, that's a question I might have to ask the mechanic. Yeah, that's a question I have to ask the mechanic and see how long it goes. I'm like, dude, why aren't the master mechanics up here selling services at the same time teaching the younger generation or this upcoming group of people how to do it, and also be, I guess you could say, confident with the guests that they're selling services to? That would make sense as well. You get what I'm saying? Just like how some services like NTB, you're a mechanic. A lot of the mechanics grow from there and doing all of those small jobs, and then they go to the front and become salespeople. And then if their workload is over back, guess what those managers do? They then go back to help their mechanics in the back dock to push out orders, push out repairs and stuff like that. That's the system that works so well for NTB, and that's why I like them so much. But why are a lot of candidates quitting? We ask. So this is what some of the reasons are. So here's what's driving the shortage: flat rate pay frustration. You just saw that he's only getting paid 19%, and it doesn't matter how hard he works. Tool costs. All these mechanics have been mentioning tens of thousands of dollars in tool costs, and it's only going up. You also talked about physical wear and tear. These people are getting older, and it's taxing on the body. Also, modern cars are harder to diagnose. Like you talking about, there's very few people that can service a hybrid or electric car. It just makes it really, really hard. Like it's not as simple as it used to be. And then warranty work complaints. Like he said, the warranty pays less than what you would pay as a customer trying to get your repair costs. And then retirement wave. Older technicians are leaving faster, and then younger workers are entering the trade, which hence why we need 75,000 mechanics real soon, real fast. So let me know what you guys think, man. Do you think this younger generation is absolutely cooked? Are we going to be paying more in car repairs in the future in about 5 years? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like the button, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.